اسمي احمد سمير حلمي، الانجينيرنج اند جيو ساينس سولوشن مانجر لالجير في افريقيا. كنت بحب بس ابدا معاكم من يعني بدايه كده سريعه جدا عن السولوشنز اللي بتقدمها الجير ان جنرال، وامتى بنستخدم which بلاتفورم لما حضراتكم بتحتاجوا. السلايد اللي قدامكم دي هي سلايد بنحاول نجمع فيها اللايف سايكل بتاعت اي انجينير او اي ريسيرشر، اي ديزاينر، اي حد بيحاول ان هو يوصل لاجابه سؤال ما ويديزاين ابلكيشن او ينشر ريسيرش عن اجابه هذا التساؤل اللي هو بيشتغل عليه. كلنا بنبتدي في اول نقطه من نقطه الاسئله، الديسكفري. we need to discover what is out there. احنا مبدئيا لما بنيجي نواجه اي مشكله، هي مشكله علميه، مشكله ريسيرش او مشكله in design, the first thing that we need to do is to properly identify the problem and to properly define the problem parameters. فبالطريقه دي بنحاول ان احنا نستغل شغل الناس اللي سبقونا اللي حاولوا يشتغلوا على المشكله دي and how they defined the problem and how they defined the design problem او research problem. وفي نفس الوقت بنبدا ندiscover مين هم الثوت ليدرز اللي بيشتغلوا في المجال ده، العالم وصل لايه، ايه اخر publications مهمه على هذا التوبيك، ونحاول ان احنا نقرا على قد ما نقدر العالم وصل فين علشان نقدر نكمل من بعديهم ونضيف على الشغل اللي حصل بدل ما احنا نبتدي من نقطه الصفر. كل الاسئله اللي احنا بنواجهها دي البوينت اوف ديسكفري، ان احنا we need to discover what is out there. فور discovery platforms احنا عندنا two platforms، واحد اسمه Scopus it's an abstract and citation platform، والتاني اسمه Engineering Village an abstract and indexing platform. الفرق الاساسي ان سكوبس الفوكس بتاعه هو على السايتيشن كاونتس والجنرال ايفالويشن بتاعت الساينتفك جورنالز وبتاعت الاوثرز وبتاعت الارتكلز، فهو الفوكس عليه اساسا السايتيشن كاونتس والاناليتكس بتاعت الامباكت بتاعت each article. Engineering Village is an abstract and indexing platform متخصص اكتر في الداتا والاندكسنج بتاع كل السب توبكس والتوبكس اللي in each document, whether it was a publication out of a conference, out of a journal, dissertation, كتاب, even an engineering trade magazine. ومن اسمه تقدروا تحددوا ان هو الفوكس بتاعه is engineering and applied sciences بصوره كبيره جدا، وما بيتيح لنا ان احنا نزود التولز that are focused more on application and on engineering. فعادة بنستخدم الاثنين مع بعض، بس when we're looking for answers in data through all the different publications، مش Elsevier publications، احنا بنcover more than 5,000 different publishers. Elsevier is only one out of those 5,000 peer-reviewed, reputable, respectable publishers. فانت تقدر to go through and to filter and to rank كل publications and كل the related articles to the topic that you're looking for through that discovery, and you can maintain being up to date العالم بيتكلم في ايه ووصل لفين لغايه النهارده. زي ما قلتوا الابستراكت الاندكسنج بلاتفورمز ما بيقدموش الفول تكست، بس بيقدموا لك كل الابستراكتس and data and analytics انت محتاجها عشان to narrow down the top 5 or the top 10 articles, books, chapters that you need to read to be fully updated on your topic. Once you do your discovery homework, بتبدأ ان انت بتعمل الريدنج ليست بتاعتك articles and books that you need to read full text. For full text عادة بتتجه ساعتها للبلاتفورمز اللي بتقدم لك الفول articles من different publishers زي Science Direct when it comes to publications done by Elsevier، أو حاجة تانية هنتكلم عليها النهارده which is Knovel اللي بيدي لك full text of more than 10,000 different references, engineering references from more than 150 different publishers. When it comes to geoscience, عندنا platform تاني اسمه GeoFacets that gives you a lot of access to thousands and actually 2.1 million maps, figures and data that you can download لأي حاجة ليها علاقة بالgeoscience. طبعا الريموت collaboration والremote working between working groups, researchers and students دلوقتي has become extremely necessary. فMendeley as one of the reference managers بينظم لك كل الحاجات اللي انت بتشتغل عليها وكل الداونلودز اللي انت بتشتغل عليها والريبورتس and articles and projects that you're authoring، بس في نفس الوقت بيتيح لك capabilities عاليه جدا of remote collaboration مع other working groups او مع other researchers online، بحيث ان انتوا الاثنين تقدروا انكم تشتغلوا مع بعض على projects او articles if you're publishing. Once you submit your article for peer review and for publishing لأي scientific journal that you've discovered and you want to publish your article فيها, after you pass the review and you're accepted for publishing, على طول your article will be indexed in Engineering Village أو on Scopus علشان other researchers يقدروا discover your work، بحيث إن هم يقدروا يكملوا على الشغل اللي أنت عملته and you of course receive the citations and the recognition for your work from other authors as well. نفع عجالة الديفرنت تولز اللي متاحه لحضراتكم دلوقتي وانكم تقدروا تشتغلوا بيها، بحيث ان انتم تقدروا تخلصوا كل نقطه من النقاط دي في السايكل بتاعت الشغل بتاعكم. Whether you're undergrad students working on a new design او your postgrad students that you are looking for publishing your latest article. احنا هنفوكس النهارده على الانجينيرنج related platforms which is Engineering Village and Knovel. التركيز بصوره كبيره جدا هيبقى على Knovel علشان this is what you're gonna be mainly using for your design work and coursework في خلال الاسابيع القادمه. بس I would recommend برضو انكم تستخدموا Engineering Village علشان تبقى عندكم latest view on what's going on and what is the latest concepts of design that everybody is working and using right now. What is Knovel? Knovel is a technical information solution that delivers reliable technical answers, supports engineering workflow and decision-making process, linking academia and research to industry. بمعنى آخر, إحنا what we try to do when we're building Knovel as engineers, building it for other engineers, إن إحنا build an intelligent platform utilizing كل technical information that is hidden within thousands of different technical references that we've chosen very carefully of validated content من publications of more than 150 different publishers زي Elsevier, Wiley, Taylor and Francis, with the most important data that is coming out of engineering societies like ASM, like ASME, like IET. كل important handbooks and validated content ده ازاي اقدر اعمل data mining لكل الكونتنت المهم اللي جواها، وان انا كمان اخليه انتراكتيف واخليه في نفس الوقت ان انا اتيح لك بلاتفورم intelligent enough ان انت when you need to solve an interdisciplinary problem اللي انت تقدر تتخطى حدود الديسيبلين بتاعك and you become aware and knowledgeable enough ان انت تقدر تستخدم concepts and tools and knowledge and equations من disciplines تانية whatever بقى انت mechanical engineer فانت you're trying to utilize electrical engineering concepts and tools ولا العكس، بحيث ان انت تقدر باسرع وقت ممكن توصل للحلول للمشاكل whatever in the research او الديزاين او الايفالويشن اللي انت بتحاول تعمله. الداتا اناليتكس تولز اللي احنا زودناها بتتيح لك انك مثلا if you find a graph that is hidden in a book that can give you for instance an answer on the corrosion rates and the safety zones from corrosion مثلا 316 steel when it's hosting or when it's transmitting a flow of H2SO4 مثلا at high concentration, and then automatically you can just click on the graph and open the graph into a digital form بحيث ان انت you can just click on the X's and Y's اللي انت محتاجها from that graph and at very high accuracy at up to 16 decimal points تقدر to accumulate a table with all the needed points and you can just download it to Excel بحيث انك بدل ما بتقضي 5-6 ساعات انك بتحاول to verify the data that you're extracting from a handbook ان انت ببساطه جدا تقدر توصل ل relevant answers very quickly within minutes and you complete your analysis or you complete your evaluation for the design. في نفس الوقت there's thousands and thousands of hidden valuable material properties and tables موجوده في كل الريفرنسز دي and it's all in hard copies. How can you find the specific number, the specific heat coefficient, the specific material property or alloy that can allow you ان انت تعمل a design or a chemical compound that you need to use an accelerator مثلا in a process that you're using very quickly من غير ما انت تضطر انك تقرا يعني hundreds of pages او انك to go through hundreds of lines لغايه ما توصل لل specific answer اللي انت عاوزها and to be very confident in the answer that you get. We've digitized all of these tables. We've mapped all the different data points and numbers available within these tables. We've made them searchable, downloadable, and accessible بسهولة جدا. ده غير انك definitely عندك access للفول text بتاع الكتاب. And we've done the same with equations. Whenever you're stuck trying to solve a problem, you always need the governing equations for that process. But you can reliably find these different equations through the different references. وفي نفس الوقت, if you want to utilize it numerically very quickly, you can open it in a well-prepared worksheet. بحيث انك تقدر تزود الارقام والبارامترز بتاعتك numerically. الworksheet يحل لك الايكويشن ويدي لك the numerical solution so you can again continue with your work. زي ما انتم شايفين احنا we tried to map out all this important information that is built in within these references. When we're relying mainly on references, not research papers, عشان دي كل ده validated content that is used by industry. But it's not theoretical concepts, it's not theoretical content that is out of research, it is validated content that is established and it is used by industry. But you can take that number, you can take that equation, you can take that concept and work with it. بحيث ان انت تقدر تخلص شغلك بكل سهولة. Using بقى كل التولز دي, we've added على الكلام ده كله a very highly optimized search and a dedicated material property search engine. بحيث ان انت تقدر to validate the different material properties. Knovel is already used by oil and gas industry, by the chemical industry, by the engineering design industry, by the aerospace and defense industry, and by the equipment manufacturing industry. And you can see, and these are live feedback and live responses from users from all of these industries that are working with Knovel and working with knowledge, whether they are getting up to speed, improving safety or regularity compliances, developing a new and improving design products, or scaling up concepts or prototypes that they were working on and they wanted to go to the manufacturing phase. And also, as you can see, Knovel is being used by the top 50 engineering schools around the world and around Africa, but also used by a lot of different companies around the world within the different disciplines. The topics and subject areas that are covered within Knovel هي بنحاول انها تكون as comprehensive as possible when it comes to the engineering disciplines. عشان زي ما أنا قلت, it is used as an interdisciplinary tool. So if you're a mechanical engineer, you'll find all the different books and references that is needed by a mechanical engineer, but you can still very easily freshen up on chemical engineering concepts, electric and electronics, different references that you want to use. لو انت مثلا عاوز تحل an electrical problem او ان انت redesign circuit او ان انت تحاول تبص على a chemical engineering problem. When you have access to Knovel through the IP range, عادة احنا بنفتح access to Knovel by the IP range for the institute or for the university أو بنفتحه by the domain name. بمعنى لما تقدر once we activate the access to Knovel, and we're going to alert you when we're going to have when you have access to Knovel through the institution, بتزور knovel.com knovel.com, and it will ask you لو انت من بره الجامعة, it will ask you for your official email, official university email, where you can log in and register an account using that official email. لو انت موجود جوه الجامعة او using the VPN of the university, بتقدر ان انت برضو تخش وتستخدم Knovel through ال IP range بتاعت الجامعة automatically. ساعتها you don't need to register unless you want to save some of that material to your space and to your account or not. طيب. As you can see, we also design Knovel بحيث إن هو يبقى very intuitive, very easy to understand and to use. There's a very obvious and usable, user-friendly search bar في النص. As you can see, it gives you a lot of the different examples of things that you can search for. Whether you're searching for a concept, searching for an equation, or searching for an author, searching for a number. كل الحاجات دي Knovel بيقدر يفهمها. Even if it was a chemical formula أو a material property. You can just go and easily search for whatever concept that you are looking for. طيب الحاجة الثانية very easily you can identify إن أنت if you want to do a material property search you can directly go to the material property search part whether you're looking for an alloy or you're opening the chemical material search for different thermodynamical properties of any chemical compound that you're working with. أو لو أنت عاوز إن أنت browse the different content that is available on Knovel, you can just go to the browse and you can browse the different references and content and equations through the browse and by the different subject areas. Or if you're looking to for the equations, كل equations that are already digitized on Knovel, which are more than 2,500 different equations digitized and ready to be used on Knovel. If the equation that you're looking for is not already digitized, okay, you can find it within a reference and you can open a blank worksheet وهوريكم ازاي بحيث ان انت you can redefine the equation yourself and even combine different equations from different references in the same worksheet and save it to your Knovel so you can have an even bigger database of interactive equations. There's also a built-in unit converter. طيب خلينا نعمل search سريع على any concept of work. طبعا احنا كان واحد من الكونسبتس اللي اتكلمنا عليها علشان الكورونا فيروس بانديميك اللي موجود دلوقتي ان معظم المهندسين حاليا بيشتغلوا على فكره how to redesign ready to use او ready to manufacture او حتى ready to 3D print ventilators اللي فيها نقص كبير جدا في المستشفيات في الاي سي يونتس اللي موجوده دلوقتي. بس دي مش هو الكونسبت الوحيد اللي المهندسين شغالين عليه دلوقتي. There's a lot of different medical devices and a lot of different engineering that is needed right now to help and support the health systems اللي موجوده دلوقتي to combat البانديميك. خلينا نبص الاول على الفنتليترز مثلا. اوكي انا دلوقتي عملت سيرش على فنتليترز. طبعا ventilators is a very wide engineering concept. يعني في من اول ventilators بالنسبه للمصانع لغايه الميديكال ventilators when it comes to البايوميديكال devices. انا بس عملت الجنرال سيرش عشان برضو تشوفوا الجنرال ريزلتس بمنظرها عامل ازاي. As you can see, my search results متقسمة ل books and text, graphs and tables, and definitions. تمام؟ وفي الوقت ده أنا عندي هنا ال concepts، عندي ال list of all the different data points اللي موجودة تحت التوبيك بتاع ventilators that I can refine my results بيها. من أول hydronic heating, clinical need for ventilators, system curves, mechanical ventilation, عندك ventilation design, fan performance, machinery spaces, fire spread, كل دي air leakage, HVAC systems, seismic design, aerodynamics, heat pump, compression modeling, كل دي subtopics and subconcepts that are available under the word ventilation on Knovel. طيب لو أنا مثلا حاولت أبص على clinical need for ventilation هلاقي هنا إن أنا already اداني chapters from books that are called مثلا هنا medical device technology, a systems-based overview using engineering standards. في واحد تاني هنا biomedical engineering handbook, molecular and cellular tissue engineering. في هنا managing medical devices within a regulatory framework. يعني كمان مش اداني references، اداني كمان regulations، عشان لو انا عاوز familiarize نفسي على طول بسرعه مع ايه هي regulations that I need to take care of when I'm looking for that design، عشان ما اضيعش وقتي in a brilliant engineering design but that does not follow the general premise of the medical device regulations. برضو لا، I need to familiarize myself very quickly with the regulations as well. لو أنا شايف إن this is too narrow I can remove. I can أدوس على الأكس اللي كان هنا و I can remove that limitation وأبص على الحاجات التانية اللي موجودة. لو أنا مثلا هنا رحت جاي كاتب let's say medical ventilator design. Okay. طلع لي a set of other references and chapters زي هنا design engineering manual، على هنا interference to medical devices. اداني هنا برضو plumbing engineering design handbook بيتكلم فيه هنا على ventilators. في هنا negative pressure ventilators. في there's a different resource على حسب انا عاوز افوكس على ايه ليه علاقه بالفنتليتر ديزاين والانجينيرنج ديزاين كونسبتس. Okay. But I can actually search within these results until I find a book that I'm happy to look at. هنا مثلا أنا one of the books that I clicked on كويس هنا بيركز أكتر على respiratory aids ومديني هنا بعض information and بعض diagrams that I can actually look at. This book is called Introduction to Biomechatronics. وببص على الشابتر اللي بيتكلم على positive pressure ventilators. If this is what I'm looking for, okay, this is partially one of the things that I am looking for, كويس. I can simply download the chapter right away to my computer. أهو the bottom بتاع download I can just download. طيب افرض دلوقتي أنا am working in a work group أو I am a lecturer that I want to advise my students to إنهم يبصوا على الدايجرام ده مثلا and to take care of some issues. ممكن يكون أنا معترض أصلا على الكونسبت ده and I want to warn them about something that I don't like into that concept and that they need to do extra work and extra research علشان to find a solution. فأنا أقدر ببساطة جدا إن أنا add a note to this diagram and I can put it in red and I can put my comment here as well. And I can save, once I've added that comment, it was saved to my novel على طول. الكتاب نفسه was saved and my note was saved في my space in my novel because I'm already logged in under my account. If I'm not logged in under my account, it will ask me to register and to create an account عشان أقدر save my notes in a save. طيب لو أنا عاوز أعمل حاجة تانية، لو this is a good paragraph that I want to save, I can just highlight that paragraph and I can copy or I can add another note. Okay. And I can say, for instance, that's solution 1. I can put it in green and I can add a note. دلوقتي اللي حصل and it saved the whole paragraph to my note with my note and it is again saved to my space. طيب I can share this chapter with my work group or with my colleagues by email and I can enter a message and a note to them. I can specifically add this page to my, let's say, for instance, my Blackboard or my Moodle or whatever a learning management system that I'm using by just copying this URL. كل صفحة في Knovel has a very unique URL. If I copy this URL, it will not just take me to the book or to the chapter, it will take me to this particular view of where I'm looking at. So just by sharing this URL and adding it to my notes, هياخد كل whoever who want to click on the link to that specific view of that chapter. I can also just save it. And if I save it, I can even create a specific folder. Let's say I'm going to create a folder for medical ventilators, and I can add that this is for the coursework, and I will save. I created the folder and I saved it to that folder with my comments and with my notes. اللحظة دي أنا هروح بعد كده كمان شوية بعد ما أوريكم كام حاجة هوريكم how can we deal with that folder and how can we retrieve the data that I'm doing. فأنا دلوقتي I shared this with my colleagues. I've downloaded it. I've even saved it to a specific folder. لو أنا عاوز أبص على table of contents أدي بقية ال chapters and I can jump from one chapter to the other if I'd like. By the way, there is a mobile app that you can download for free. It's called My Knovel to Go. Everything that you save here is transferred automatically to your My Knovel account, which is directly opened on your mobile or on your tablet. تمام؟ Okay. طيب يبقى أنا كده I looked at some text. ماشي؟ طيب what about some of the graphs? If I've done a little bit of a more general search زي ما كنت عامل في الأول على ventilators بس هلاقي إن هو هنا مطلع لي section اسمه graphs and tables. طبعا ممكن يبقى specifically what I'm looking for is not available if there's a specific table or a specific graph. ففي هنا these are the interactive tables for some of the material properties that are available that I can just download. So for instance, I can just click on that. Again, the table ده is available in PDF جوه الكتاب بس we've just digitized it and made it available that you can just export and download to Excel. طيب. Let's say for instance إن أنا بدور على properties مختلفة لماتيريال مختلفة that I want to use in my design. Let's say for instance أنا دلوقتي عاوز أشوف إذا كان I can use for instance graphene or graphite for instance in some parts of my design. Okay. فهلاقي تاني a lot of different data ما بين the handbook filters ما بين ال different material property searches ال graphs and tables. For instance, just looking randomly at some of the graphs, for instance, just to show you the use case. ففي هنا these are a list of all the different graphs that are available, for instance, on graphite. If I clicked on any of them just to make you understand what you're looking for, oh, that, for instance, this is the book, here it is. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot of different important graphs that are available within these different books. كل دي graphs that are within these different books. طيب, if I want to use any of those graphs, I can directly click on open graph this button. This button means I can directly open the interactive graph, or I can go to the book and look at the graph within the text. يا إما هفتحه من هنا يا إما هفتحه من البutton ده اللي هو اللايف جراف. So it directly reopens the graph, بس بدل ما يبقى في صورته بتاعت البي دي اف يبقى في صورته الديجيتايزد او الانتراكتيف. what we've done ببساطة جدا إن إحنا we've redrawn this graph to a high accurate level that you can even go up to 16 decimal points. كل اللي أنا محتاج أعمله إن أنا أزوم in، أعلي الأكيورسي بتاعتي مثلا let's say to 10 decimal points. لو أنت باصص على الكورسر بتاعي بتاع الماوس هتلاقي إن أنا وأنا ماشي على الكيرف اليالو بوكس اللي تحت ده موجود فيه الإكسز and Y's. I can just click on the different points that I want to look at, and I can find the table هنا created with all the points with the X's and Y's. تمام? And all I need to do is just download that to Excel and download the picture to JPEG. Just to save time, أنا كل اللي هعمله أنا بس هدوس على print بدل ما هداونلودهم to Excel, which will give me a page فيها كل ال points اللي أنا I clicked on مع كل graph that I can use with the reference of course. تمام؟ طيب. If I also want to look at some of the equations, let's say for instance عاوز at some instant عاوز أحسب a flow rate of a fluid or a flow rate through a tube or whatever concept that I want to look for an equation for, I can just go and type flow rate. It will give me a list of all the different graphs and tables and even equations that are looking at flow rates. طبعا I can narrow down what I'm looking for through these different concepts. Okay. And if I click on any of them, this is what happens. بيفتح لي الديسكريبشن بتاعت الايكويشن. فدي الايكويشن، دي البارامترز اللي موجوده. This is the description of the equation and this is the reference of that equation. So I can directly write down this equation and use it, or I can click on it and it will open a data sheet with all the different parameters defined. Here's the equation, and this is the green box is the numerical solution of that equation. But I can change directly بالورقة والقلم يعني any of those parameters. I can just click here. For instance, I'm going to choose to change P1 from 500 kilo, let's say to 5000. أول ما كليك بره على طول لو أنت لاحظت هتلاقي إن الجرين بوكس ده النيوميريكال فاليو اتغيرت. For instance, I'm going to change again the D from 500 millimeters to 5,000. And again, this numerical solution has changed. This worksheet, I can download this worksheet to PDF, to a spreadsheet. I can add more equations. I can insert equations from other books. I can even start my own new blank worksheet and write down my own system of equations and link them all together in one calculation sheet. Another thing that you can look at is the material property search. Let's say, for instance, I want to find some alloys. Okay. And I'm searching for all the different parameters of steel. فعندي هنا اهي حوالي 2600 different tables that are available for steel. And if you look at this part, this is all the list of all the different properties that are available, whether it's chemical, mechanical, electrical properties, كل حاجة. Let's say, for instance, إن أنا عاوز steel with a steel alloy with a very high hardness, for instance. فكل اللي أنا محتاج أعمله إن أنا هطيب hardness. على طول استوعب إن ده mechanical property, and under mechanical hardness, it gave me the different parameters for hardness. I can drag and drop and use Bernal hardness, and I can even choose ان انا محتاج range او less than or more than, and I'm gonna choose I want any alloys, steel alloys with hardness more than 400. اداني 31 different tables. Clicking on these tables اداني هنا the different tables that are available. هو ما ادانيش التيبل كلها by the way، هو اداني selected lines من this table that comply with the range that I've applied with the limitation of more than 400 Bernal. ده هو limitation، فاداني كل lines that comply with this من all of these different books. Let's say for instance ان انا بفضل اكتر مثلا the ASM handbooks مثلا، او ان انا عاوز ابص على worldwide guide of equivalent irons and steel، فممكن ابص بدل ما ابص على PDF ببص على a digitized interactive table فيها كل الستيل alloys that is highlighted هنا ان هو it has a Bernal hardness above 400. And I can just download this to Excel right away. Okay. طيب. Once you have the access to Knovel, you can just log in with your institutional email, register from home, and have access to Knovel, and you can use it either to collaborate, to work, or to find different tools. Once you've registered وبقى عندك الماتيريال بتاعتك على your My Knovel account, this is my Knovel account. As you can see كل حاجة، كل نوت أنا عملتها، كل resource أنا استخدمته was saved to my Knovel space with all of my comments. So I can search within my tools, I can search within the books that I've used, and I can search within my notes. ولو أنت لاحظت هتلاقي إن this is my folders. I can, let's say for instance we created a folder كنا احنا مسمينه ساعتها احنا كنا مسمينه ايه دلوقتي؟ I think it was a ventilator او project A حاجه زي كده. Let's say for instance we've added كل حاجه ل project A. هلاقي ان these are the chapters and the notes that I've added to that. انا ممكن اجي هنا share واكتب الايميل addresses of my colleagues, of my students, and I can just send them the access by email. اللي هيحصل ان هم هيجي لهم notification that I've shared this folder with the content in it by email. And these are my shared folders. These are folders that other colleagues have created and shared it with me. And this is a pending folder that one of my colleagues have shared it with me, but I have not accepted yet access to that folder. These are the folders that I've created. Some of these folders I've already shared with some of my colleagues. My other colleagues have created these folders and shared it with me. And these here are pending folders. Okay, this was a very quick, very narrow overview on Knovel. It should give you a head start on how to use a Knovel الفترة اللي جاية to collaborate, to find answers, and to find design regulations that you can use into your work الفترة اللي جاية.